He was a billionaire CEO. She was a delivery girl who just wanted to make her deadline. Neither of them knew that one wrong turn, one rain-soaked afternoon, would tear open a decade of secrets and change both of their lives forever. If you believe in second chances, if you believe kindness can quietly rewrite a person's whole destiny, hit that like button right now, drop a comment below, share this with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Corner so you never miss a story like this one. Now, let's begin. Maya Torres had exactly 14 minutes to deliver 11 packages before her shift ended, and she was already behind. She gripped the handlebars of her delivery scooter, weaving through traffic with the kind of practiced desperation only someone drowning in bills could summon. Her uniform jacket, faded navy with the words delivery company stitched crookedly over the pocket, was soaked through from an earlier downpour. She hadn't eaten since 6 that morning. Her daughter's school fees were due in 4 days, and her landlord had already knocked twice this week, each time a little louder than the last. Maya had not always lived like this. 3 years ago she had been an accountant, sharp with numbers, respected in her small firm, married to a man she loved. Then her husband got sick, the medical bills swallowed everything they had built, and after he passed she was left with a mountain of debt, a 6-year-old girl who still asked when daddy was coming home, and a resume that suddenly meant nothing to employers who only wanted to know why there was a 3-year gap in her work history. Delivery work didn't ask questions. It just asked her to show up, and so she showed up, every single day, rain or shine, exhaustion or not. That afternoon, her last delivery was to an address so grand it almost embarrassed her to approach it. Iron gates swept open onto a gravel driveway lined with hedges trimmed into perfect green walls, leading up to a stone mansion that looked like something out of a film. Parked in front of it was a gleaming black Rolls-Royce, its license plate reading LUX 101, as if the car itself needed to announce how far removed this world was from hers. Maya swallowed her nerves, adjusted the package under her arm, and walked up the driveway on legs that ached from 6 hours of non-stop riding. A man stepped out of the house just as she reached the door. He was tall, impeccably dressed in a charcoal suit, dark hair combed back, the kind of effortless composure that only comes from never once worrying about rent. He held a set of car keys loosely in one hand, and for a moment he simply looked at her, at the exhaustion written plainly across her face, at the way her hands trembled slightly as she held out the package for his signature. She did not recognize him. She had no reason to. But what happened next was something Maya would replay in her mind for years afterward. As she turned to leave, her scooter, parked carelessly at the edge of the driveway, tipped over and one of the last remaining packages slid out, landing in a shallow puddle. Maya's stomach dropped. That package was fragile. If it was damaged, the cost would come directly out of her paycheck, a paycheck she could not afford to lose even a fraction of. She knelt down immediately, hands shaking, trying to salvage what she could, murmuring apologies to no one and everyone at once. The man crouched beside her without hesitation. He didn't say a word of blame. He simply helped her gather the scattered contents, wiped the box dry with his own handkerchief, and told her, calmly, that accidents happen to everyone and that she shouldn't worry about it. Maya froze. In 3 years of this job, no customer had ever knelt down in the mud beside her. Most didn't even make eye contact. This man, standing in front of a mansion worth more than she would earn in several lifetimes, had just treated her like she mattered. She didn't know his name yet. She simply thanked him, gathered herself, and rode off before her emotions could betray her in front of a stranger. What she didn't know was that a small group of neighbors, gathered near the property gate that evening for a community event, had witnessed the entire exchange, and their whispers would soon turn into something much louder. Because the man who had knelt in a puddle to help a delivery girl was not simply a wealthy homeowner. He was Nathaniel Cole, CEO of one of the largest logistics and shipping conglomerates in the country, the very company whose trucks and vans Maya's employer contracted with every single day. The man signing for her package was, in an indirect but very real sense, the reason she had a job at all. Word spread quickly through the small delivery hub where Maya worked. A photo had been snapped by one of the neighbors, capturing the CEO on his knees beside a soaked delivery worker, and it found its way onto social media within hours. People began asking who she was, wondering aloud why a man worth billions had stopped to help someone so easily overlooked. Maya had no idea any of this was happening until her supervisor called her into the office the next morning, holding up a phone screen with a mixture of confusion and disbelief. Her stomach turned. She assumed she was in trouble. Instead, she was told that Nathaniel Cole himself had personally called the company that morning, not to complain, but to ask about her. He wanted to know her name. He wanted to know how long she had worked there, what her circumstances were, and whether the company had any programs to support drivers who were struggling. When he learned about her late husband, about the daughter she was raising alone, about the quiet dignity with which she had shown up to work every day despite everything stacked against her, something in him recognized a story eerily similar to his own beginnings, long before the suits and the mansion, back when he too had delivered packages just to survive. Over the following weeks, Nathaniel did something no one expected. He didn't simply offer Maya money and walk away, the way charity so often does when it wants credit without connection. Instead, he created a mentorship position within his company for former accountants like her, a pathway back into the career she had lost, paired with flexible scheduling that let her be present for her daughter. He never once made her feel like a charity case. He treated her the way he had that day in the rain, with simple, unglamorous respect. Maya's life did not change overnight into some fairy tale of endless luxury. But slowly, deliberately, it changed into something steadier. She returned to numbers and spreadsheets instead of scooters and rain jackets. Her daughter stopped asking when things would get easier, because she could finally see that they already had. And every so often, when Maya passed the logistics building downtown, she would think about that gravel driveway, that fallen package, and the stranger who knelt down in the mud beside her when he had absolutely nothing to gain from it. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who might need to believe in kindness today. Your support means everything to this small channel, and it helps these stories reach the people who need them most. And before we go, I want to ask you something. If you believe that small acts of kindness can change the entire course of someone's life, type the word kindness in the comments below. Let's see how many of us truly believe in this. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest gesture, offered without expectation, becomes the turning point in someone else's story.